Hi guys, welcome to my channel where we talk about everything from tech to films and all the fun stuff in between. It's a special moment, guys. We've just crossed the first milestone of 1,000 subscribers and I am so excited. I couldn't thank you all enough, guys, and it seriously means a lot to me. Actually, my wife wanted to be my 1,000th subscriber, so I let her be. Yes, she never subscribed to my channel before, but she was always there behind the scenes, supporting me and even putting up with my unusual requests at times. So I take this opportunity and thank her on YouTube in front of my 1,000 subscribers and many thousands of viewers. And I would like to humbly request those thousands of viewers to hit that subscribe button and help us grow Team Rav Media. I promise you all that I will do my best to bring you impartial and in-depth reviews of cool tech products along with a bit of fun stuff now and then. Seriously, thank you all once again for all your support and for your amazing comments. So let's get on with today's video. It's been nearly a month since I unboxed the iPad Pro 2020, and since then I've been using the iPad every day. Right from the original iPad, I've always been an iPad person. Everything outside work has always been the iPad for me, and now with these YouTube videos, I am bringing work to the iPad as well, and I'm seriously loving it. So a month's time did give me a decent chance to test out the Pro to the max, and I would like to list out the 5 things which I love and 5 things which I hate in this video. So first are the 5 things which I love. The first is the design and build quality. That slimness and the uniformity is unmistakably beautiful. Apple has always been about design aesthetics, bar a few times, but with the iPad Pro it clearly shows. The squared off edges really feel nice and comfortable in hand compared to the curved edges of the iPad Air, and honestly, I feel that this is the first iPad which I could hold bare in my hands without a case on and not worry about it slipping off from my hands. Even the camera cluster is not so pronounced as the iPhone 11 Pro and fades away slightly behind the dark panel of glass which covers it. Second is that 120Hz screen. I mentioned this before on my channel and I say this once again. That buttery smoothness is something to experience hands-on and cannot be justified on camera. I simply love the feeling of that while scrolling or whilst playing games. Being able to play Fortnite at the highest refresh rate setting is just awesome. Comparing it side by side with a non-120Hz display, you can definitely notice the difference. Next is the USB Type-C port. With it being a universal port, you can find plethora of accessories which can be hooked up to the iPad. For me, the most I use is connecting SD cards via this Anchor hub. And I also connect portable hard drives to it. Before I used to connect them onto my PC and then transfer files to it and then get it onto the iPad, but now it's just simple, plug it in and transfer files. Then I absolutely love connecting a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard along with my monitor via HDMI. This really helps with productivity, especially if I'm writing a document or editing a photo or video using iMovie. Fourth point is the additional base storage. The iPad Pro 2020 gets 128GB storage as standard, which is double the amount which you got on the iPad Pro 2018 or the iPad Air 2019. Right from the beginning, for me, the memory has been one of my most desirable features, and I always wanted more but dreaded to pay premium price for extra storage. So this time the base version being increased to double the storage is really pro-worthy. And with movies and games pushing over 7 to 8 gigabytes each. More storage on a device is always great and straight away adds value to your purchase. Fifth point is those little extras which are only possible on the iPad Pro. I will list 3 here which are only exclusive to the Pro and not available on any other iPad. First is this setting which allows you to control the refresh rate of the iPad Pro. By default, it is turned off, which means out of the box you can right away experience that smooth 120Hz refresh screen. But in case if you want to extend battery life, then you can always head to settings, then to accessibility, then to motion and toggle the switch on, which limits the frame rate to 60 Hz. Next is the Animoji and Memoji. The iPad Pro is the only iPad to feature true depth sensing tech in the front camera setup, which enables you to do this. I know it's not that key or important feature, but if you ask my 6-year-old, she'll pick this one as the best feature of the tablet. Then there is a small hidden trick. It's mentioned nowhere, but if you follow tech channels, then probably you'd know this. First, you need a USB-C to Lightning cable. If you have the Pro Series iPhones, then this cable comes in the box. Now just connect the USB-C to the iPad Pro and the Lightning end to your iPhone. And voila, just like that, your iPhone is getting charged via your iPad Pro. Take that, Samsung. There was so much hype about reverse wireless charging and leaks that the iPhone 11 series is going to support this feature, but it did not happen. But here on the iPad Pro, with the USB-C port, you can totally charge your phone or any other device if you have the right cable. It's not going to be that fast, but plugging in something like the AirPods, now this is very handy, especially if you're stuck on a long haul flight or if you're away from home. And finally, a bonus one. It is the RAM. With 6 gigabytes, the highest on any iOS device, you can assume that this device is going to last you for a couple of years. Given how Apple keeps optimizing its iOS releases, I think we can be rest assured that this investment will keep going until you get bored of it and start drooling over that newer iteration. So that's the things I loved bit done. Now let's look at the other side of the coin. These are the things which I don't like about the iPad Pro 2020. First is Face ID. If you're like me and mostly use your iPad in the landscape mode, then every time you pick up your iPad, your hands cover the camera. I didn't realize that I use my iPad so much in landscape mode until it kept prompting me that I was covering the camera system every time I picked it up. And with those thin bezels, there is nowhere else to place your hand and it naturally goes into the middle where the camera unit is located. Unless you always unlock your iPad in portrait mode, there is no other solution than making sure that your thumb is out of the way. Another thing as well that I've noticed which is slightly annoying is that you always need to bring your face into view. Sometimes the iPad could be in a slightly different angle or it might be far away from the Face ID cameras to pick it up. But your hands can easily reach the iPad, like it's happening here. Whereas if it was Touch ID, this would have been perfectly fine in such situations. Face ID sure looks cool, but I think practicality wise, Touch ID wins hands down. Next are those super thin bezels. This is more of a sacrifice. If you want a cool and modern looking device, then you must make this sacrifice. With the thin bezels, there is no way of properly holding the iPad without resting your hands on the screen a bit. Holding it just on the edges is not super comfy. However, Apple's palm rejection technology is amazing, but still I feel that the iPad Air feels a bit more comfortable to hold, especially whilst gaming. Next is battery life. It's not that it is bad, but I never used to run the iPad down to such low levels ever, and I use the iPad every day. The 120Hz refresh rate screen does drain battery, and if I compare the battery drain on my iPad Air, I do notice this difference. Wish Apple did something extra to prevent this, especially in the second gen iteration. Then it's the camera system, which has the absence of any sort of optical image stabilization. See, I do diss the camera in most of my reviews, as using a camera on an iPad is totally impractical. So why am I even mentioning this? See, my argument arises due to the availability of 4K recording. The iPad Pro 2020 supports full 4K recording up to 60 frames per second. Now, if you've shopped around, then you know that you'll have to spend at least the cost of an iPad Pro to get a decent camera and lens capable of 4K recording. When Apple decided to give this to us in a device which could do so much more than a camera could do, then why restrict it? Adding optical image stabilization to the Pro would have made better sense when giving us the option to record in 4K. Plus, it's not like the first time Apple will be doing this, as OIS was present in that 2016 iPad Pro. So the later iPads not having this feature, especially the 2020 version where there was so much mention about the Pro camera system, it definitely feels like a downgrade. Finally, I'll have to list that thin and fragile form factor. We've all witnessed the whole iPhone 6 Plus bendgate issue and how Apple rectified this in their 6S models. So I was 100% sure that they would do the same with the iPad Pros. But teardowns suggest that nothing has been done to the 2020 version to address this issue. The smaller 11-inch is not as prone to bending, but with the larger one, you need to be a bit more careful and probably always use a case. So that completes my list, guys. Besides the bending issue, I don't think there is anything else which should deter you from buying the most powerful tablet currently available in the market. And if you use a decent case, that should definitely take care of that bending issue as well. I here have 3 cases: ESR case and ZTO top case, which I have reviewed in my iPad Pro accessories videos, and then this Easy Act iPad Pro case, which has its own review on my channel. The manufacturer is still running a unique 20% off promo for our channel. The code and the links will all be in the description box below. So that's it for this video, guys. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and please drop a like if you like this video. I thank you all subscribers once again for all your support and the amazing comments, and I would request all viewers to click that subscribe button and join Team Rav Media and give this channel a chance to survive amongst the world of YouTube titans and tech gurus. So that's all for the video, guys. Thanks a lot for staying with me until the end. I will see you in my next video. Bye for now.